unlock your leg flexibility with these 3 leg stretches. These are going to be passive stretches that will help loosen up those muscles. We're going to start with a standing calf stretch. If you really want, you can use a rag under your toes to help stretch the feet a little bit as well. And forgive me for cutting off my head in this video. It's kind of hard to find a way to fit all me in and get my legs. So first what I'll do is I'll go against the wall, feel the calf stretch. I can feel it right there. I'll leave my back foot where it is. I'll take this rag, I'll either fold it up or roll it up, put it under my toes, making sure my foot is perpendicular to the floor, and then I'm going to go into the stretch with a straight leg. As I'm here, I'm just trying to make sure that the feet face forward the whole time, feeling like I'm pushing my hip into the wall. And sometimes what will happen is the knee is going to want to bend. Not the worst thing in the world. There's my head. Not the worst thing in the world, because if you bend your knee, you'll get your soleus. Leg straight is going to get the gastrocnemius, so you have 2 different calf muscles here. So if I bend that leg, you'll get soleus stretch. If you like that feel, go with that too. Whatever you feel needs to be stretched more. Mine is my gastrocnemius. And I'm just going to push into the wall, thinking hip forward, keeping my hips squared. I'm only facing this way so that you guys can hear my voice. And you want to imagine static stretches kind of like stretching a rubber band. Over time, you're going to get it to lengthen, it'll come back, lengthen, it'll come back. But the more you do it, the longer you hold, the longer that rubber band will hold that flexibility. We're going to do a minute each side. We only have, actually, yeah, that's it for that side. We'll switch legs. I won't use a rag for this side. Again, finding the stretch with my back leg first, straightening my leg, making sure my toes are completely facing forward into the floor or wall, and then bending that front leg, keeping the support in my hands, and allowing my hip to drop forward. This front leg isn't doing anything. You shouldn't really even feel any pressure in the leg. Otherwise, that means you're pulling off of the stretch. If you're wearing sneakers, the alley of your laces should be completely perpendicular to the floor. Don't try lining up the inside of your shoe. Don't try lining up the inside of your foot with being perpendicular to the wall. It will mess it up a little bit. You want to have, it's going to be a little bit off of being completely perpendicular with the inside of your foot or inside of your shoe and pressing in. Again, keeping the knee either completely straight or slightly bent. Slightly bent will be your soleus, straight will be your gastrocnemius. And just breathing. And every time you breathe out, you should feel yourself get a little deeper in the stretch. And relax. My name is Michael. I've been a coach for a decade, and I'm doing these videos to be able to help you guys have a plethora of things that you can do focused on longevity. I'll be doing stretches, mobility, workouts that are follow-alongs. All of these are. You can pause and repeat them however you like. And I'm also going to do some like lecture style or informational where I'll sit down and kind of go over some ideas as well. Those will be coming soon. That's Kuma if I never pointed that out before. On to the other side. If that stretch helped you so far, give this a like, share with somebody who you think needs some flexibility. Don't be mean. The next stretch is going to be a deep lunge. Again, these are all static stretches. This one I think is also called a runner's stretch, but although I think sometimes that's referred to a runner's stretch when the back knee is up. Anyway, neither here nor there. We're going to go into a long lunge here. So what I'm going to do, I'll start with getting 90-degree angle in my back knee, 90-degree angle in my front knee, and then I'll kick out my back, knee forward. So 90-degree angle in my front knee, 90-degree angle in my back knee, and then I kick out my back knee. If you feel a stretch. If you feel a stretch, right there is the stretch, and you can just hold. If you have a bench or like PVC pipes or cane, whatever, to hold yourself up neutral, that'll be good if you're in a little bit of a higher position. I still need to go a little further for the stretch, so I'm going to slide that foot back a little bit more. And now I'm feeling the stretch. I'm feeling it a bit in my glute / piriformis, and I'm also feeling it in my back hip flexor / quad. It's kind of going to depend on what's tighter with you as well. Now, if you want, you can send this front foot back so you get a little bit of ankle mobility in here as well, but I'm going to be a little bit more supported, or I want to be a little more supported. So I'm gonna keep that ankle there. And as you can see, I have both hands on the inside of my leg. This is so I'll be able to flare out that knee and really get more of the groin stretch in there too. This one I will often hold for 2 minutes at a time. We're just gonna do a minute today. I believe we have about 15 seconds left. And I'm just letting my hips sink, trying to keep my chest up so it helps me pull into the stretch more. If you're able to go down to your elbows and still stay in the stretch, go for it. But if you're like rounding your back and hunched out while you're down there, not so much. It will slowly come out, and then we'll switch legs. I like to keep my knee roughly where it was on the other leg, so I'll just replace the knee, replace the foot about the same angle or area, and then sinking those hips back down. Again, you'll kind of feel it wherever you need it, but generally it's going to be the quad, the hamstring, hip flexor, and the groin, maybe piriformis. Yeah, that's about it. And then as I'm holding here, every time I exhale, I want to make sure I'm sinking deeper in the stretch. When I inhale, I want to keep the stretch where it is. Sometimes when we inhale, our body's going to be tempted to pull out of the stretch a little bit. And as mentioned before, if you let the knee flare out and you're able to go down to your elbows and keep the hips down, feel free to do that. Apparently I lost a little bit of flexibility. I used to be able to do that very easily. But anyway, if you're up here, you want to be thinking chest up, so that way it actually helps force those hips down to the ground. And the longer you're here, you might even feel your body want to release a little bit more. So I just felt my hip flexor want to release more, so I'm just going to breathe for a second. And all I'm doing is focusing on letting those muscles around that joint relax. And there we go. Now I can feel my hip starting to sink a little bit more. I believe about another 5 seconds and then this stretch is over as well. And slowly coming up. Last one today is a seated glute stretch. So you're gonna take one foot, cross it over. You might feel the stretch here already. If you do, just sit up tall, hold into that leg, and just let it sink in. Just keep sitting up tall, pulling the chest in towards the leg to get deeper in the stretch. If you don't feel that, pull the foot in even further. You can wrap the elbow around the leg, so I'm going opposite elbow to my opposite leg. So the leg that's being bent is the opposite. And then I'm gonna do basically a rear naked choke. I'm gonna grab the bicep, chop the back of the head, and sit up tall. Oh boy, yeah, that's really, it's getting it. And as I do this, I'm just thinking similar to a rear naked choke, pulling my elbows down and chopping that leg in. Biggest difference with this to a rear naked choke is I'm sitting up tall rather than hugging in close. Anyway, I missed jiu-jitsu. Just breathing as you're here. And right now I'm just trying to keep my right leg relaxing more and more as I go. Let me know in the comments if you would want me to do like a long, like 30-minute or an hour video where I'm just kind of stretching, going through my flow that I do sometimes, where I hold for a long time. And release, we'll go to the other side. So other leg straight. Oh, I can already feel this glute. This side's obviously tighter. Holding the foot in. Now once I feel that stretch, I can feel it already starting to stretch there. Take the opposite elbow to the leg that's being stretched, grabbing the bicep, choking the leg. Thinking sit up as I'm here. And as I think sit up with the torso, trying to think left leg relax as much as possible. So again, this is like if you stretch out a rubber band and you just hold that rubber band in an elongated position, the longer you hold it there, the longer it will take to get back to its shorter, more elastic position. So static stretches still have their place. It's going to be something that you would want to do after a workout. I don't recommend doing it before a workout. Mobility and dynamic or active stretches I would do before a workout. Passive stretches, you don't want to necessarily elongate the muscles for a long period of time in one position and then go in and try and contract them as much as you can. Just breathe for the last couple seconds. Sitting up tall and slowly releasing. If that stretch helped you out and you're looking for more stretches, check out this playlist. I got a bunch of follow-alongs. Thanks for another one. on to the next video.